Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life Real Crime Daily for Thursday, May 18th, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino. Jim, your shirt says you're sex machine.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
James Brown, baby. James Brown. And you know, my name is James, so that must be something to that. Yeah. Must be something to the name James and Sex Machine.
When you walk in the door with that, when you get home a little later and Wendy looks up and
she already thinks that no matter what shirt I have on.
It is on. You should just go into your James Brown voice and
let's talk about your shirt.
Fight card of the century.
The fight card of the century. Balboa and Lang. And that's badass. And then you got Drago and Creed underneath too.
Yeah. I was watching the other night on YouTube. I couldn't believe how funny this was. It was David Letterman interviewing Mr. T in whatever, 1980, whatever. But apparently Mr. T had been invited on the show the night before, and a segment went too long and they didn't have time to get Mr. T on the night before, and he was pissed.
Really?
He was not happy about it.
Yeah.
And he gave Letterman the hardest time. It was Letterman was visibly afraid of where he was. And
it's like my shirt. Mr. T said, pain.
That's right. Prediction. You got a prediction for the fight?
Prediction. Pain. Hey, woman, come on over here. You need a real man.
That is a great shirt. Look at those eyes.
Badass.
Look at those
Thank
eyes.
you for the shirt. It's amazing.
Clubber Lang.
Y'all, it's great to be back. And
welcome back.
Missed yesterday, and we were about to blow this up. And we're going to bring it out. Oh, you know what? Stay tuned at the end of the show. We got some special announcements, right?
Right.
And thank y'all, everybody, for listening. We love you. So first story I want to do, I think we should do a whole series just on plane shit because it happens like every week. But a passenger attempted to board a flight with Jim's cousin.
Yeah,
Jim's the anaconda. This passenger tried to board a plane with a boa constrictor, and it called it's emotional boa constrictor. Like
it's an emotional support.
It's a PTSD boa constrictor, right? So the TSA says a traveler attempted to bring an emotional support pet boa constrictor through security.
That's insane.
Spokesperson said or tweeted the incident happened at the Tampa International Airport. The woman had a snake named Bartholomew in her carry-on bag.
I mean, with a name like that,
I wonder if it was a snake
very
bag.
Proper
snakeskin bag.
A Bartholomew is not going to bite. Well, he's not going to choke the living shit out of you. I mean, with a name like that, he's a refined. I could see him as a emotional support.
Well, you know what though? She should have not. She just should have put it around her neck or something because she put it in her bag and it got detected when it went through the X-ray machine. And a spokesperson said that TSA contacted the airline, which said that she could not bring the snake aboard the aircraft. So no snakes on the plane on this one, y'all. The snake was 5 or 6 feet long.
Okay.
Kind of like Jim's anaconda. Coiled up in the passenger's carry-on, it was a 5-foot boa constrictor. We really had no addition for discovering any pet going through an X-ray machine, as he said in an Instagram post. So evidently nobody had ever tried to. Well, yours just goes through in the pants.
That's right.
The anaconda.
That's right. I can consider it.
Tried to bring a snake on the plane.
Okay, but are there certain species that are not allowed to be emotional support animals? I thought
I have no idea about that. But I'm pretty sure she was just trying to get a free ride for Bartholomew.
Well, see, I don't, like last week, I think we had a penguin named Dirk.
That we did.
Now I wouldn't trust that MFer on a plane with a name like Dirk.
Dirk's
but if your name is Bartholomew, I don't know. I think she should get a pass. So did she travel without Bartholomew and left him behind?
Stay tuned. We're going to keep you updated.
We don't know. Okay.
Can't give you all that goodness in one episode, Michael.
I'm sorry, Bartholomew. I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to Ohio, and an Ohio man has been charged after assaulting a father's girlfriend and setting her on fire. And not in a good way.
Not the good one.
Not in a good way. Robbie Robinson Jr. is being held in jail on a $200,000 bond. He was arrested and charged after he allegedly beat his father's girlfriend and set her on fire, which led her to jump out of a second-story window. And body camera footage from police officers show the arrest of Robinson, who was wearing a winter coat, despite temperatures of like 80 degrees. I don't wear winter coats when it's 80 degrees, Mike. Do you?
No, not often. That's a little weird.
Right. So the victim told officers that Robinson had beat her to the point 2 of her teeth were knocked out before dousing her with gasoline and throwing a flame at her.
That really hurts.
She then jumped out of the house in an effort to escape the abuse. A neighbor called 911 to report the incident after his dogs were frantically barking and led him to the woman lying on the ground.
Hope she stopped, dropped, and rolled.
One of the neighbors was quoted as saying, "I see one of my neighbors laying on the grass and she looked like she was covered in dust. I go running over and her immediate action was, he set me on fire."
Wow.
The woman was airlifted to the hospital with second-degree burns covering half her body and is listed in critical condition and was placed in a coma.
Holy shit.
In the body camera footage, Robinson purports that he had no idea what happened to his father's girlfriend. "I don't know what happened. I just went off," he told the arresting officer. The officer asked if anyone else was inside the house, and he replied his stepmother was. The officer then told him the woman jumped out the back. "Oh, she did," Robinson responded. The motive for the attack is unclear, and he's being held again on a $200,000.
He's going down the temporary insanity route.
Right.
The dogs didn't get credited with heroism there, but it seemed like the dogs are the ones who spotted her, and then the neighbor came out after that. So another one for the animals today. Score one for the dogs.
It might be an animal dog day.
Dogs are amazing beings in that they know, they can danger and all that stuff. Like they just know.
My dog's saying that if I'm pissed off or whatever, they'll come and sit on my lap and shit like that. Some dogs, not all dogs, but
yeah. So
Bill Nye, the science guy, I think Jim is coming after your gig. Be careful. That was brilliant diagnosis of the dog species. You guys are big Spotify fans.
Have subscriptions and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And many of our listeners out there are listening to us on the Spotify app right now. Actually, the Spotify app is our number 2 source of listeners and has grown considerably.
Right.
And our next story involves a Spotify star.
Right.
His name is,
Mike
he
Agovino.
doesn't go by this name, but his legal name, not even close, is Shiloh Pottinger. We're going to go across the pond for this story.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
As official international correspondent to Real Life, Real Crime Daily, it is up to me to source these crimes from across the pond. So this is an interesting one. This is a story of a Spotify star, Shiloh Pottinger, that I just told you about, who was convicted in the UK for killing a 19-year-old student with a 13-inch knife. That 19-year-old's name is Luke O'Connor. The apparent motive in this case is that the student mocked Pottinger's skateboarding skills.
Uh-oh. Don't mess with the man's
So apparently in the UK, there's certain things that you can say and certain things that just immediately mean drop them or going at it. And picking on someone's skateboarding skills is apparently a big part of that. So this I didn't know, and it makes a lot of sense. Britain is in the throes of a major knife crime epidemic.
That's because they outlawed pistols or guns, firearms.
Correct, you are, Woody Overton.
When your police don't carry firearms, the normal bobbies don't carry firearms, that tells you something.
But they're in the throes of a knife epidemic, and Pottinger stabbed O'Connor 8 times using a 13-inch Mafia stiletto blade.
There's your people, Mike.
I like stiletto.
Pottinger claimed, well, you're a sex machine, so that's going to... Pottinger claimed he had been acting in self-defense, but he was convicted yesterday of manslaughter of Mr. O'Connor, who was a second-year business management student at a university in Manchester. The son of a rapper and an up-and-coming musician himself, Pottinger's tracks have been listened to more than 500,000 times on Spotify. One of his most listened to tracks includes the lyric, quote, "Mummy said when I was younger, I should never play with knives," unquote.
Wow.
Perhaps he should have listened to, well, over there it's mom.
Yeah,
it's mom.
I get it.
Perhaps he should have
And
listened.
bum instead of butt.
Perhaps he should have listened to mommy.
My bum.
This one, this piece came from Deadline. I love the way that Deadline writes it. They say, a row broke out between the pair as Mr. O'Connor from Bedfordshire walked home from a house party with two friends in the heart of Manchester's student area. A row. Yeah, I thought that was like where you get
the boats.
Caviar, isn't it?
No, row is a fish egg.
Yeah, fish eggs.
You also row a boat.
You could row a boat too, but I didn't know that was a fight. So I picked up a little bit
I can have rows in my garden.
Picked up a little bit of
I can have cornrows
of British slang there. Continuing with the story, so these two groups were walking by each other, and Pottinger was holding his skateboard, and one of the guys with O'Connor, wasn't even O'Connor himself, asked Pottinger whether he could, quote, do a kick flick. Skateboarders in the room? Kick flick?
I'm pretty sure I can imagine it. Probably more.
I think that's the thing they always say. Yeah.
Flick it. Yeah. Kick flick. Sounds like a porno.
Doesn't seem like an aggressive.
Kick flick with your mummy on the row.
Those aren't fighting words. I mean, they don't seem like fighting words.
Well, that's because you're not English.
Could you do it? Could you do a kick? So Pottinger did not take it well and reacted in a violent and unpredictable manner. He first attacked O'Connor by hitting him on the head with his skateboard before it flew out of his hands, and then he tried a second strike. They have CCTV footage of this entire incident, which was played for the jury in the trial, which no doubt worked against Mr. Pottinger's attempt at a self-defense claim. And so there you go. International news from the UK. Spotify.
Hey, we love all
Star
our Spotify
is going
listeners.
away, and Britain's in the middle of a knife crime epidemic.
We must technically be stars on Spotify because we have more downloads than that guy does.
Oh, we most certainly do.
Yeah.
So, and you can do a kickflip.
Absolutely. I invented the kickflip. You didn't know that.
Invented it.
Look for a video later of Woody attempting a kickflip, folks.
Absolutely.
I want to see that.
Absolutely. And we love our listeners across the pond, too.
That's right.
It's like our second or third country. So I'm going to take it back to the dog stuff, y'all. In Colorado, this dude was driving down the street doing 52 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour speed zone in the town of Springfield, and the police pulled him over for speeding, right? No big deal. But what happened, I've seen this happen a lot of times. The guy that was driving exchanged seats with the passenger. Right, you pull people over and you see them like just swapping seats because you know the driver's tore up, right? And that wouldn't have been unusual, except for the police went up to the car and they actually saw him swap seats, with the passenger, and they went up to talk to the driver and it was a dog. So he swapped seats with the dog and he said, "Hey, I wasn't driving. The dog was driving."
So did the dog blow over the legal limit?
So and then he gets out of the car and he said, "Hey, I wasn't driving." But of course he showed signs that he was wasted. And then he said he's the oldest defense known to man, took off running.
There you go.
I mean, and he hung out his dog. The cops called him about 20 yards away from the vehicle.
20 yards, he got a long way.
He didn't get far as like Woody running back in the day. But the dog, believe it or not, doesn't face any charges, and he was let go with just a warning.
There you go.
I mean,
Yeah, but the dog hates his freaking owner now. I mean, trying to pin the whole thing on the
under
dog.
the bus, man. Dogs are humans, right?
That's
what
right.
Jim said.
There's nothing more
beings.
nothing
A
more
man's
loyal.
best friend, my ass.
Nothing
is what
more
he
loyal
said.
than a dog. God, imagine if that dog had
But
blown like a .2 or something. He would've gotten-
I mean, I actually have done traffic stops, so you can see people climbing over each other and shit. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, my dog was driving. Okay.
Maybe he was thinking, I'll go for some comedy, and maybe the cop will go for it. And,
Yeah, well,
when
it
was better. You know what? That was a better strategy than just sitting there and just dealing.
Yeah,
with it.
the running away is a misdemeanor charge. We call it a 14-108, resisting by flight, not in a vehicle, just running. And so I guess he just took that misdemeanor charge. Just in case he could get away.
I was watching.
Maybe he could just magically run and disappear. Boop. Poop into thin air.
I was watching Tommy Boy the other day with my son, and there's a point at which they're getting, Farley and Spade are wasted, and they're all over the road, and there's a cop following them, and all of a sudden the cop puts the lights on, and they pull off into this field and pretend that they're being attacked by bees.
Right,
They run off, and the cops just run away scared because they're afraid of the bees. So that would have been an alternative strategy to putting the dog.
Well, I mean, this guy, one of the reasons he did run was he had 2 active warrants out for his arrest already. So whatever.
He got a whole 20 yards.
But he hung out old Fido. Try to give him a criminal record.
And if he went away, I hope Fido has a home to go to.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point, because we'll just call your wife and you can go adopt him.
Oh, she'll be there in about 5 seconds.
Right. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Next.
We're going to go to Baton Rouge, and a driver accused of trapping a man's arm in a truck window before speeding off last month has been accused of second-degree murder.
Saw that.
In the man's death. Kentrell Malloyd was found dead on April 27th. Investigators initially thought it was a case of hit and run, but an autopsy showed his injuries didn't come from being hit by a car. Detectives found witnesses who said that Malloyd was called to a house to collect payment for repairing Robert Hector's truck. While awaiting Malloyd's arrival, a witness said Hector suddenly started acting paranoid, got in his truck, and drove away. Malloyd arrived and approached the truck to talk to Hector, and Hector is accused of rolling up his window with Malloyd's arm inside of it and driving away with Malloyd hanging off the side of the truck.
That's crazy.
Police said Malloyd was dragged more than half a mile before he was thrown from the truck when it turned abruptly. And he died when his head struck the pavement.
Oh, they ripped his arm off.
Witnesses told police Hector ran stop signs and traffic lights while Malloyd was hanging from that truck.
Malloyd could only kill with the car for so long, and I'm sure he's running.
Yeah, I mean, how he didn't just bust that window, get his arm out, I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's.
So you ever had your arm locked in the window like that? Somebody rolled it up.
Not that I recall.
That shit hurts.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah. No, I'm sure.
No, it happened to me
it hurts a lot.
On a traffic stop, and I tried to reach in and get, and unfortunately, I didn't pull my pistol with my left hand, but I was trying to reach in and he did my arm up. I'm like, I will kill you. And he thought better of driving off like this guy.
Yeah.
Murder. That's a bad way to go.
Yeah, that's awful.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something. All the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
Yikes. You guys, big Kim Kardashian fans?
I don't know anything about her.
No, not a fan.
Not a fan.
She has a sex tape, but I haven't seen it.
Not a fan. Tiffany is in with us today. We need a woman's opinion.
Oh, I
Tiffany,
know my wife and them know all about that. I think is she one of the housewives or something?
Oh my, come on.
No, that's what she watches all the time.
No, but you're seriously asking if Kim Kardashian is one of the housewives?
I thought she was. I thought she got her fame. I know her daddy was one of the attorneys for OJ.
She did a sex tape with Ray J.
He's really...
Who's Ray J?
Rapper.
He's really a simple person. All he does is hunt, eat,
talking about me,
do podcasts, and have sex.
And drink
That's
beer.
really
and
all.
Drink beer.
Okay, but he doesn't know who Kim Kardashian is.
I've heard of her.
Okay, well, that's good.
But we did a story on before, and they said she was on Bloody Angola. She was defending somebody.
See murder.
Oh, see murder. That's right.
Trying to get him out of jail.
She just got her law degree.
Well,
that's what they said.
There is a cottage industry of people who go on to social media and are Kim Kardashian imposters. Right? That's a business. People do
she
that.
must be pretty famous.
Right? So her fame is large enough. By the way, it's 0 for 4 for Kim Kardashian around the table, although I have to recognize her, her entrepreneurial skills.
I understand what you're saying because
she's worth almost $1 billion.
The second latest one industries where people try to mimic people is Mike Agovino. People are lining up out the door.
I'm third. I'm behind Livy Dunn. I'm third.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Third.
You're behind Joey. But Foucault.
But Joey's got me beat too. I forgot. Both of them, Livy and Joey.
Probably somebody got murdered.
And that would be the order. Yes, somebody did get, somebody did die. Yeah. And it's one of these Kim Kardashian impersonators. Right. So
is the sex tape worth watching?
I didn't watch that.
It's pretty good.
3 weeks after Kim Kardashian lookalike OnlyFans model Christina Ashton Gorkani died, a suspect has been arrested and charged in connection with her death.
There you go. Social media got another one killed.
Vivian Gomez, age 50, was booked. Gomez, who lives in Florida, is set to be extradited to California before a May 22nd court appearance to face charges of 2 felony counts of carrying out involuntary manslaughter and practicing medicine without a license to result in great bodily injury.
That's usually when they do fake, they do boob jobs and shit when they're not doctors. Give injections like Botox and stuff.
Augmentation surgery is
Holy shit.
Okay, so
is that Kim Kardashian
I'm
or
showing,
is this the girl
I'm showing
that died?
Woody the picture.
Lookalike.
This is the lookalike. And
Holy shit,
the
I didn't even
front
look
the
at what
front
Kim
view
Kardashian looks like.
The front view of the lookalike I think is pretty darn close. I mean, that's pretty good. Right? Wouldn't you say?
I'm going to go out on the limb and say that top and that back are not legal. I mean, not real. Probably not legal.
Definitely
you can
illegal.
set your beer can on that ass.
Oh,
well, I think that's part of the reason that she got it is so that people.
What do you put in
set
it? What do they put basketballs in there on both the front and the back?
I think her boobs are much bigger than Kim Kardashian's, and certainly her butt isn't. But that's I think the norm in the if you're an impersonator, you accentuate.
I bet she swings around. Or she used to swing around a pole for a while.
But what happens, I think, too often in this case is people go places for these procedures that they shouldn't go or don't properly vet.
They want to save a buck, right?
Don't properly vet the person who's saying that that they are, that they're doctors or that they're licensed to do this kind of surgery. And so Gorkani, who was 34, died from complications due to a cosmetic surgery. And it's a surgery supposedly, allegedly, performed by this Vivian Gomez.
So Vivian Gomez represented himself as a surgeon who could make that magic happen, and then she wasn't, or he wasn't?
Yeah, well, it's Vivian, so I think it's a she, probably. And I think it's related to the butt augmentation that she had. We'll get this picture up so you guys can see. But this is it's a ridiculous amount. I just don't understand why these people do it. But, this woman's making however much money, must have been good money on OnlyFans, and, is just continues to chase the, bigger and better on the boobs and the butt thing in the Kardashian
certainly
fashion.
Succeeded, yeah.
And so now she's
Mike's apparently not an ass man.
She's headed out to San. I'm not an ass the size of 5 asses.
Not an ass. You set a beer can.
One ass would be plenty. I love your butt, honey. You know that. The model who often cosplayed superheroes and villains at San Diego's Comic-Con received many tributes from fans and fellow influencers following her death. She was one of the most gracious, sincere, genuinely loving souls I've ever come across. OnlyFans model Allegra Cole wrote, "Sending love, peace, and healing light to you and yours." Another influencer wrote, "We will always miss you." And even though he doesn't sound sincere, Woody will miss you as well, Christina. That was not the way to.
I'm looking up Kim Kardashian, and that chick's boobs and butt were way bigger than Kim Kardashian.
No, they're way bigger, but I also think that Kim has gone through stages and had so much work done that she's adjusted them up and down.
Kim Kardashian's thick. But
she's thick.
She's thick.
She's thick, Mike.
She got the hips. I got no problem with that.
No, she's
I like a thick woman.
But I think that's not all natural there. I think that's had some help.
I don't understand that.
You understand?
All right. Okay.
I think we're going to make you watch an episode. I think we're going to make you.
I'm going to make you watch an episode of Meat Eaters or.
Okay.
I like Gold Rush.
It's a great.
I've actually watched that.
What?
Swamp Boys. I watch all these. I watched Louisiana Law last week. I watched 3 episodes of Louisiana Law.
Yeah, I watched those too.
I like Turtle Man. I watch all those things.
All right, hey, you want me to take
Turtle Man, rest in peace.
I'm going to take it to another one. Did he die?
Yeah, Turtle Man's gone.
Really? Yeah. I'll take it to another one, y'all. So this is kind of crazy, but a 14-year-old helped save his younger sister from an alleged kidnapper by using a slingshot to fend off the suspect during an incident in Michigan last week. Michigan State Police said that an unknown male appeared from the woods and entered the siblings' property in rural Alpena County on Wednesday when the 8-year-old girl was mushroom hunting. Don't get excited. I'm pretty sure it's not that kind of mushroom people. That might be.
I don't know. What do you
mushroom?
Alpena caps.
Yeah, I mean, she's not digging in cow shit for tripping mushrooms. She's what do you like? Is it Dorels? Like in Wisconsin, that's the thing where they go out and like those mushrooms are super, super expensive.
Right. Well, she's northern Michigan there.
She's 80 years old. I'm pretty sure she's not tripping yet.
No, she's probably not.
But the suspect had come through the woods onto the property and came from behind her and grabbed her like you'd see in the movies, hand over the mouth, arm around the waist, and was attempting to pull her into the woods, right? Well, Grimshaw said that the girl's older brother witnessed what was happening and used a slingshot to fire 2 shots at the suspect, one to his head and another to his chest, which allowed his sister to break free. Suspect identified as 17-year-old from Alpena, then fled the area. So,
badass. How old is her brother? Does it say?
14 years old.
Okay, so I got him right with the kid that stopped the bus.
Right.
If he doesn't do that, she's gonzo, right?
Right. And well, the state police said that too. Said he really is the one that I believe saved his sister's life or kept something seriously bad happening to her. For a 14-year-old to see that and pop into action that quickly is extraordinary, and he should be commended for it. And I agree. You wouldn't think in this world that if you were playing in your own backyard or on your property that you'd be concerned about something like this. That's not true. I think that shit can happen anywhere. But it just goes to show that there is evil out there. I agree. And it can find anybody anywhere. He was later found by state troopers hiding in a nearby gas station. And he had injuries on his body from the slingshot. So slingshot's badass.
That's totally badass.
I've killed a squirrel with a slingshot.
So you're pretty good. You're pretty good.
David killed Goliath with a slingshot.
That's right. That's right. So that was kind of a different one.
And David's
the one that they slung around. I had to pull back with the rubber band.
Yep.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. You go.
Way to go, big brother.
Save your sister. That's right.
All right, we're going to bring you to Daytona Beach, and police in Florida are investigating the attempted abduction of a 6-year-old girl on Mother's Day,
right,
of all days. The girl was walking home from church hand in hand with her mother when an unknown suspect tried to separate them. The unknown suspect was unable to remove the child from her mother's grip and subsequently ran away. The events took place as the mom and daughter walked home from Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Daytona Beach. Neither the mom nor the child were injured in the incident. My heart just dropped, and it's almost like I just went into tunnel vision, the young girl's father, Kelly Granger, added. He said that the lady tried to karate chop them while they were holding hands. So basically did the karate chop between the two hands, right. I would imagine. I wanted to crawl out of my skin and just go after that individual, he continued. Daytona police are now looking for a light-skinned black female who is approximately 25 to 35, between 5'6" and 5'8", and has a skinny build. On the day of the attack, she was wearing a gray sweatshirt and a long red skirt with her short black hair tied in a bun. The church has sent out a notification advising parents not to allow their children to walk home alone while this incident is under investigation. And that's just
Let me tell you something.
A scary story, man. That someone would have the cojones to do that
that's called
in front of the mama.
It's called a situational. The profile on that is a situational offender. The situation is right versus like Derek Todd Lee was preferential, that they had certain people to want to defend against. That dude better be glad it wasn't my wife and one of my kids when they were young, because my wife would have beat that ass.
Amen.
He'd have never got down the street. Mama Bear Cindy would knock you the fuck out.
And what about this guy? How far away was the husband?
Well, I'm sure there was a little shock factor there that like you're trying to grab my kid, but you bet.
Come on.
There's no way you're getting away without an ass whipping.
Right.
I mean,
well, you're not. It's a woman. You're not going to whip her ass, but you're going to catch her and hold her and call the police.
Fuck that. If she's trying to snatch my kid, I'm going to knock that motherfucker out. Well, I wouldn't have to do it because my wife would do it for me.
Yeah.
Hey, look. I never had a woman that hit a woman that didn't hit me first. But if you're gonna hit my kids or grab my kids from me and try to kidnap them, you gonna believe.
Okay, wait. Let's visit that statement for a second. You never hit a woman who didn't hit you first.
Yeah, but you got to understand.
So how often has
let
this?
me qualify this.
Tiffany's
statement.
here with us.
The deal being is when you're in law enforcement, when you meet people, especially in uniform patrol, you meet them in their worst day, right? Usually, I never hit a woman in my private life, period. But usually, when you show up on a scene like that and they're all combative and you got to arrest them, they're going to fight. Women fight worse than men or better than men. So my favorite thing to use on the force continuum right after verbal commands, if I didn't want to put my hands on them and get all kinds of allegations and shit, then I would spray them. Yeah, right after, put your hands behind your back. Fuck you. Okay, spray them, and then wait that minute and a half, and then they're snot slinging, and I can get them effectively. But sometimes you're up close. Look, I had them kick me in the nuts before. You kick me in the nuts, you got punched in the face. And I'm like some famous politicians. You say something bad about them, you're a street fighter, you're going to automatically respond. So you hit me, and I mean, I don't have time, especially surprise me. Shit, I'm gonna hit you back, and all the defensive tactics and shit they teach you in the academy, that shit goes out the window. You sneak me, you kick me in the nuts, you're gonna get. I have to use whatever force necessary to bring the situation under control, and I would do that.
Okay. Well, I did not think that you would hit a woman in your personal life, so I'm glad you clarified that.
I want to, but
but
sometimes.
But what did you call?
So women don't come up and kick me in the nuts, because if you do, I'm gonna punch you.
What did you call Cole Hauser yesterday? A wuss. That dad is a wuss.
Well, he may have been too far away.
Well, he saw it.
Yeah, but fuck, he could have been talking to the preacher up on the stairs, and they could have been walking towards the parking lot. We don't know.
I want to hear a little bit more than how awful. I
mean, they must have been total shock and awe, and this fight, flight, or freeze. And mom must have just froze the fuck up. She better be glad the Mama Bear didn't come out.
That's right.
Well, I love those last two stories because the good guys won.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
great when the good guys win. I have a story where the good guys win again.
Let's do it. We're all about good guys.
Because the bad guys aren't so
good
smart.
Girls too. Do we need banjos?
No, this would be banjo qualifying, but we have another banjo story. We're going back to the great state of Ohio, second time this episode, I think, where an officer's body cam footage shows the suspect hiding in an unusual place. We'll come back to that.
Uh-oh.
Elyria, Ohio Police Department officials arrested a whopping 7 suspects on May 6th after observing Brandon Sherrill run into a house on Kenyon Avenue. My very first block I lived on was Kenyon.
Really?
Sherrill had an outstanding warrant in his name, prompting officers to enter the house and inspect the property. The suspects, Stephanie Price, Michael McCloskey, Autumn Eggers, Jason Smith, and Sherrill were all arrested. 2 other suspects were arrested for drug-related offenses, Ian King and Michael Major. King has been charged with felony possession of fentanyl and methamphetamine, while Major was charged with possession of methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia.
Nice.
I've got a little picture here for you, Woody, that you'll see in a minute. But as the lease tenant of the house, Major was also charged with permitting drug abuse in the home. Major allowed the officers to enter the home, and once they were inside, they searched the house. The suspect's unusual hiding places were gradually revealed. Smith was found under blankets in the basement, and Price was found hiding in the attic. Sherrill was found hidden under the basement stairs. Meanwhile, McCloskey was found in a unique hiding spot.
Sounds like a po' boy shop.
He decided to hide in the clothes dryer.
Oh, God. He fit in a clothes dryer? How big was the fucking dryer?
Yeah.
How small was he?
Or how small was he? Yeah.
Body cam video shows officers demanding McCluskey get out of the dryer while they arrest him. So they had to knock on the outside door of the dryer and say, "Come out with your hands up."
I took my freeze plus play. I took that the lint thing out. I sprayed freeze in there, so I had to put my hands on it. That's legal. I have to give him verbal command, then let him come out of that dryer.
Officers recovered a bunch of drugs at the scene, including fentanyl, cocaine, methamphetamine, and pot. They also found hypodermic syringes, Xanax, and various other drug paraphernalia. The police department praised their officers' actions, saying the arrests have made the community safer. Here's McCluskey after he's removed, right as he's removed
I don't know how
from
he fit
the,
in a dryer. He must be a contortionist. He works at the
contortionist.
The circus is one of those clowns to get out of
not a
the
very
car.
good, not a very good hiding
Possible.
place.
Well, I mean, let's get to another drug story, and I'll tell you the hook at the end of it. So there was this chick, this lady, driving her Nissan Altima, and her name is Laura Marler, and she got stopped, right, by the police. And they developed a probable cause to search the vehicle, and they found a whole bunch of shit. They found 50 THC cartridges, and Mike, if you don't know what that is, that's when the vape pens, it's weed, right? So then they further investigated, and they went to her Laura Marler's residence, and they received permission to search, right, from her. And she admitted she was in possession of additional THC cartridges. During the search of the residence, they located an additional 170 THC cartridges, multiple bags containing marijuana, multiple bottles of THC wax. You know what that is? It's glass. They take not the flower where you smoke, like the stems and shit. They take and cook it down and make glass, or what they call it the wax, and it's very high in THC. So they're trying not to waste any. The drug dealers.
So once it's so you burn it like a candle?
Yeah, no, we get it down to wax, and you can do it. No, you usually they put it in like food and stuff, like brownies and stuff like that. So anyway, so they found THC wax.
HelloFresh hasn't used that as an ingredient in a single meal that I've had so far.
$19,320 in cash, along with 15 guns, including 4 assault-style rifles, 6 shotguns, 4 semi-automatic handguns, and 1 .50 caliber black powder rifle. The estimated street value of the illegal narcotics is around $9,000, y'all. So she was taken to jail and booked with all kinds of shit. But here's the hook of the story. And this is out of St. Landry Parish, where Bobby Guidros is the sheriff. He's an ex-state trooper, and I've known him for many, many years. And Laura Marler, what do you think she does for a living? No, she's not a stripper.
That was going to be my guess.
Yeah. She's an attorney.
Whoa.
And a practicing attorney.
Whoa.
Now, so obviously she was doing more than just practicing law in St. Landry Parish. And you would think being a lawyer, she would not let them allow them to search her residence and everything.
That's
and
crazy.
all that other shit. She is definitely no Jasper Brock or no Thomas Davenport, right? A lawyer doing more than practicing law. And y'all, you would think this is unusual, but I have a real quick story, and I'll get it out of the way. I can't remember the guy's name. He was a little short guy, blonde curly hair. He was a practicing lawyer in the LP, in Livingston Parish. And I was always in court for motion to suppress or search for whatever, all the time in the court, testifying and whatever. And I'm sitting in the jury box. It wasn't a jury trial day. That's where all the cops sat. And this guy comes in, and I'm looking at him. He's bouncing. All right. So, and it's just, I said, that dude is high as fuck. And you know, I'm like, and he was just all acting erratic and shit. And me and my buddy went over to him, and I can't remember his name. It's been like 20 years ago. And went over to him, and, you know, just kind of touched him on the arm. His pupils was dilated, and he's sweating and shit. And I just happened to pat frisk him from the outside. And due to this is how you have to write up a report. Due to my previous experience and knowledge, felt what I believed to be a bag of illegal narcotics in his pocket. And then I reached in, my probable cause, it was a bag of crack. And he had a pipe, and he had been smoking crack right before he came in to defend his clients. Yeah, and I bet you Jason can tell me what his name is because I can't remember. I can see his face, but y'all know I'm bad with names. Shit happens.
Yeah,
lawyers need to do dope too, I guess.
And he was undefeated while on crack. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Never lost a case.
I'm pretty sure this dude's in jail somewhere. This girl is definitely going to jail.
Well, I'll tell you what. People will do anything just about these days to go viral.
Yep.
They'll attempt some crazy
like eating the
acts.
Tide Pods and licking the blue bell and putting it back in the thing, shit like that.
But I'll tell you what. I haven't heard yet of this story, and that was a 29-year-old pilot and skydiver who intentionally crashed a plane for YouTube views.
Really?
Yeah.
He went live and said, y'all watch?
I'm going to tell you about it.
Tell me about it.
So Trevor Jacobs earned over 3 million views on a 2021 YouTube video showing him skydiving out of a plane that eventually crashed in California's National Forest.
Oh, shit.
At the time, he claimed it was an accident.
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering if he took out the extra insurance on the
Now, in a plea deal with the federal government, Jacobs admitted that he crashed the plane intentionally to make a video as part of a product sponsorship deal for a wallet.
What?
Yeah, we need that.
Wallet is that?
So those wallet people, give us a call.
Yeah.
He pleaded guilty to one felony count of destruction and concealment with the intent to obstruct a federal investigation.
Yeah.
Jacobs flew the plane out of an airport in Santa Barbara, California in November of 2021 with cameras mounted to the aircraft.
Nice.
As well as a parachute and a selfie stick. Got to have that selfie stick.
He was by himself, evidently, right?
That's right. He did not intend to reach his destination, but instead planned to eject from the aircraft during the flight and video himself parachuting to the ground as his plane descended and crashed. And that's exactly what happened. All caught on camera. Jacobs then hiked to the site of the plane crash to retrieve the footage. He reported it to the National Transportation Safety Board, but misled investigators by saying he did not know where the crash site was.
Oh, my God.
In fact, Jacobs had already returned to the site of the crash by helicopter, strapped the remains to it, and airlifted it back to a hangar where he cut it up and disposed of the parts in an attempted cover-up.
Put some planning into that.
That is crazy. That's a lot of work.
It's pretty ingenious. Yeah.
It is.
All for, would you say 9 million? 3 million.
3 million.
3 million YouTube views.
Yeah, I don't think that costs out. I don't think
you have the wallet company. They didn't say it's his plane. I'm pretty sure it's like Jackass when they rented the car and they say they check the box and you want to pay an extra $5 for accident insurance. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the plane the plane was a piece of junk. I mean,
so how do you tell? Oh, maybe he just said it crashed and I had a parachute on because how do you? If you rent a plane, you got to return that.
Well, I gotta answer that question.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, I'm glad you asked. Yeah. They say he lied to federal investigators when he submitted an aircraft incident report that falsely indicated the aircraft experienced a full loss of power approximately 35 minutes after takeoff. He also lied to the safety inspector when he said the plane's engine quit, and because he could not identify any safe landing options, he parachuted out. So that's how he got out of it. He basically said, I had engine problems, and I just parachuted out. He went and he got the camera equipment and stuff just in case they stumbled across that.
Well, I'm sure I saw that video later on.
Yeah, so YouTube viewers were skeptical of that story from the start. They were like, noting he already had his parachute on and didn't make any attempt to land the plane safely.
Right.
So he had his pilot's license revoked, and he's charged with a felony, and it carries a maximum sentence. This is the not funny part. 20 years in prison.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
He could get 20 years in prison for that.
Well, not only that, the most people don't know, if you lie to a local cop or state trooper or whatever, it's not a crime. Now, if you lie to, it can be obstruction of justice, but it's just like just regular lying. You lie to a federal officer, your ass can go on federal prison.
That's right.
Just for lying.
Just for lying.
So, Anyway, there you go.
There you go.
You look perplexed.
I'm curious.
Mike's always got to do the math. He's figuring the math in it. Well, if the helicopter costs
He's trying to figure out what the name of that wallet company is.
You get $2 per view.
My wife hates it because I do always have to do the math.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
And I don't get the math on that one. I don't get the math on this one either. You guys probably remember Henry Ruggs as a receiving star at University of Alabama a few years back.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, Ruggs was a great receiver, very high draft pick by the I guess they would already have been the Las Vegas Raiders by then. Yeah, they would have been. And had some spectacular plays his rookie season in the league, and had a very bright outlook. Big prospects for a big career, and wide receivers in the NFL are making tons of money. Unfortunately, the story doesn't go in that direction for Mr. Ruggs. Back in November of 21, Ruggs was charged with felony DUI for allegedly driving 156 miles per hour.
I remember that.
While at twice the legal alcohol limit. And a fiery crash that killed a woman and her dog was the end result of his escapade. So he was driving 156 on a city street with twice the legal alcohol limit in his system when he slammed into 23-year-old Tina Tintor and her pet dog Max, who were in a Toyota RAV4. Ruggs' girlfriend, Janae Kilgo-Washington, who he shares a daughter with, was also in his vehicle at the time of the crash, but did not cooperate as a victim. The 24-year-old, now ex-NFL player, agreed to a plea agreement to avoid trial. He faces a sentence between 3 to 10 years, and he is expected now to be sentenced in August. He's 24 years old. If he is fortunate and gets the lighter end of that sentence, comes out at 27, he may have some kind of a chance to resurrect himself and have a second chance.
Cecil Diesel Collins blew that for him.
Yeah,
if you remember Cecil Diesel.
The Diesel. Sounds familiar.
He was LSU's like all-time badass one season running back, and he went to go to the pros, but he had a problem. He liked to break into women's apartments and sniff their panties. And he got put on probation for it, and then he got caught doing it again. And then he went to prison for it. He got on parole, and he got caught doing it again. And he went to the Miami Dolphins for a couple of years, and went back to prison.
Well, I think Ruggs has a lot of people on his side. A lot of
he's got a lot of inmates that want him on their football team.
A lot of influential people on his side. And hey, look, we've seen Michael Vick and many other people come back. He won't. He won't
pretty
be
sure there's a difference between dogfighting
yes,
and killing
there is.
people.
He won't be a 22-year-old when he gets out, but he may have a chance to resurrect. And speaking of these kind of things with athletes, I was shocked to see that John Morant was posting again with his gun out last night or the night before. And I don't know what's going to happen to that kid, but probably the brightest up-and-coming star in the NBA, and he keeps making some very big mistakes and worried about where that kid's going.
I don't know, but I'm about to bless you with some.
What?
Let me hit
what?
Anaconda.
Oh.
Get him buried, Anaconda.
It's time to get kinky, ain't it? Yes, it's time to get kinky.
It's time for kinky.
This has grown on me. I like this better than Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, Kinky Crimes, May the 18th. Now, y'all, this is some serious stuff. Now, look, everybody poops, right? They don't like to talk about it and shit.
I love to talk about it.
Everybody poops, yeah. But listen, an accused rapist beat up his girlfriend, and I'll tell you why in a second. It appears the system has failed again after a man with an active arrest warrant for beating up his girlfriend managed to make 3 court appearances without anyone realizing he was also wanted on more charges. So he's going in on other charges, but he had active warrants and they didn't even know about it. So Corey Handy was out on bail for a rape charge. A new warrant for Handy's arrest was issued on November 3rd after Handy's girlfriend claimed he got upset with her after finding out that she took a poop without telling him about it or letting him observe her poop. Here we go.
Did you say observe her
That's right.
poop?
That's right. The victim told investigators that Handy has a fetish of watching women use the bathroom, according to the rest.
Holy smokes.
At the time, the victim said Handy had fled the scene with his 14-year-old and had on an ankle monitor because he's on probation for a rape charge. There are questions about how someone on an ankle monitor can go undetected leaving the scene, and there are also questions about the warrant in the system and how it appears no one saw it. They really don't have any idea about that. But Hiller Moore, great guy, one of the best DAs in the world, and he said it surprised us that it was this old and was just sitting there. But Handy was taken back into custody after getting in trouble for traffic violations. And back to the poop charge, that's a real deal. And he shouldn't have got mad because he didn't get to see her poop.
Wait a second. What is the poop charge?
Well, the poop, it's not a poop charge. I mean, he
beat the shit out of his girlfriend because she wouldn't let him look at her poop.
So I don't know if I'm about to really gross y'all out. I told y'all about fetishes. I know about the origins, all of them except for the foot thing. But I've seen the FBI videos. They have people that sit under people's asses with clear plates and have them poop in the plate.
Oh, Lord.
That's a big thing for some people.
That's disgusting.
But that's life. And that's what this cat was doing. He wanted to play and watch her poop, and she didn't do it. And he beat that ass. And while he was on parole or probation for rape. So just.
Now that's kinky, Woody.
That is kinky. Poop is.
So he was.
Poop is kinky too.
He was doing that with everyone. Every woman he was like, if his mom went to the bathroom, he needed.
Like Mike, I'm not in a dude's house, and I don't know. But
very curious.
He obviously, the girlfriend says he has a fecal fetish.
A fecal fetish.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I like that one, Woody.
Fecal fetish. Yeah, that's another kinky crime.
They stole what?
They stole what?
It is. They stole what?
What'd they get?
For May 18th. And we're going to take y'all out to Welsh, Louisiana. Woody, tell everybody where Welsh is.
That's some serious Cajun country, and I got some fraternity brothers from there. That is in between Lafayette and Lake Charles. The one of this place that you got stopped at and got a ticket, Mike Agovino. It's a small Cajun community.
I still haven't done that. The clock is ticking. I've got like
small Cajun community, but I'm talking about Cajun, true Cajun.
Oh yeah, they speak Cajun French.
Good people,
in a lot of those areas.
good people, great food, and
I got
what they steal.
You picked the wrong town to haul ass through, boy.
Yeah, that's right. That's because you're a Yankee.
Mr. New York.
No, a California Yankee. That's worse.
California plates on the
And
freaking
Italian. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'll tell you.
Well, 3 men have been arrested, and they have been accused of selling their employer's crawfish without his knowledge.
That should be like Louisiana.
That's death penalty, isn't it?
That should be a hanging offense.
Look, let me tell you.
Hanging offense.
Let me tell you, if you get caught in like the Atchafalaya Spillway playing with someone's crawfish traps, they will shoot you
and leave you for the
in
crawfish.
the Atchafalaya Spillway. You don't mess with people's traps.
Or if you're running your traps, you know, a boat comes hauling ass by and wakes you, is what it's called, where they rock when you're doing, you don't slow down and you give them a courtesy, they'll find your boat and shoot it up.
Yep.
These people,
they don't play. That's their
law
livelihood.
enforcement is not needed.
That's right.
Old Western style.
So,
still in crawfish.
Chief Deputy Christopher Ivey said deputies were called out on Saturday, and they went to David Road in Welsh regarding a narcotics and theft complaint. When they arrived, a farmer told them he had found some of his workers had narcotics and had been selling his crawfish after work without his knowledge or consent. The farmer estimated, y'all may think this isn't a big deal, but the farmer estimated about $12,000 worth of crawfish was stolen.
That's like
at $2 a pound. That's a lot of crawfish. You know,
that's a lot.
So
they're probably not even been sold.
Where the hell was he that he didn't notice this?
No.
I
mean, so you got to understand, and Cindy and I passed them on the way to Elliott yesterday. They have big, as far as you can see, agriculture fields that with levees around them, probably a football size field each, and the crawfish traps are in it, and they flood them. They can control the water and all that. It's a $1 billion industry. Crawfish is the shit, and I eat them every week myself. But you wouldn't know because they're running them around the clock. Right? Running, rebating. And so you got to have all these different employees, and naturally you're going to get some shitheads that are going to abuse the situation.
Right. So
and that is,
they stole what?
They stole what?
Crazy.
They stole crawfish.
Give me some banjos.
Banjos. Piece of scissor.
You know what that means when you hear the banjo.
I already know.
You know, Woody?
Dumb criminals. With Mike Agovino.
The dumb criminal doing the dumb criminal segment. We're going to talk about a man who broke into an elementary school in 2019, arrested for repeat crime. A man was arrested after he broke into an elementary school and started stealing computers. The same crime he was arrested for in 2019.
Repeat offender.
East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's deputies said 34-year-old Blaine Browning broke a window on the Central Private School along Centera Court. Deputies showed up just before 7 a.m. and found that someone threw a concrete rock into a school window, crawled through the window into a classroom, cut their arm on the broken glass, never good, stole 2 computers from the school, and left a nice trail of blood.
Yep.
Arrest documents say blood was found on a damaged computer that was left under the broken windows. Deputies believe the burglar dropped it on the way out. Yeah. Deputies checked security video from the school and said that from 2:15 a.m. until 3 a.m., a man was seen walking around making trips from the building to his car. Deputies said they saw Blaine Browning in the tape, the same person who had burglarized the same school years prior. Browning was arrested for burglarizing the school in 2019, as we said. Among the items stolen were 11 computers, 3 overhead projectors.
Overhead projectors?
There's not much use for those in the market, is there?
Hey, what are you going to do with that?
I think you have people shit on them now. Is that what they do?
Maybe some
people with a fetal fetish use those. And an wait, I'm sorry. I buried the punchline. The third thing was an unknown amount of Dr. Peppers.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Of course.
Right.
Computers.
Now that I can understand.
Yeah.
Computers, overhead projectors, and Dr. Peppers.
Basically anything he can carry.
The arrest paperwork says Browning lives 0.3 miles away from the school. Sometimes hiding in obvious sight is
right.
they say.
That's plain sight, right.
Plain sight, thank you. Deputies found him with a cut. Could have got it any number of ways. It's just a cut. Fresh blood on his car door. And wearing the same clothes that were pictured in the security video. During questioning, Browning made an excited utterance of, quote, "I shouldn't have drank last night." Arrest paperwork says Browning told officers he didn't remember a thing from the previous night.
Yeah, the excited others because they didn't get to advise him his Miranda rights before he blurted it out.
You know, it was just so damn convenient being 0.3 of a mile away.
Yeah,
and the
right.
2019 caper was perfect.
Yeah.
Except for the part where he got caught.
Right,
so,
right. And put on
so
probation.
duplicating it now and just eliminating that last part where he gets caught, it would have been the perfect.
And he's going to
crime.
go to prison, a good prison story to say. What you in for? Still in Dr. Pepper's. That's nice.
I would like to see him explain to the inmates what his thoughts were behind stealing the overhead projector.
Yeah, he's going to bend over and grab his ankles.
Mocked forever for that one.
That's a dumb criminal. Wow. Crazy story. Now we're going to take you just back to a little bit of seriousness here.
Serious.
And just some things coming up in the Denham Springs area. Look, the city of Denham Springs, believe it or not, which for those of you not familiar is in Livingston Parish, Louisiana. Yeah, so we had here in Livingston Parish where we record out of, in Denham Springs, we had a officer get shot that we've done a couple of reports on. Corporal Sean Kelly. Absolutely horrible. He's been in the studio.
Right. He's a friend of ours. And it's horrible.
So we're going to give you just some quick information here on some ways you can help, because a lot of people have been messaging asking how they can help. And we want to make sure that you go to the right places and that any monetary donations you make or anything like that are going to the right places.
We want y'all to know after these things go on and the help comes, we're going to do some stuff as Real Life Real Crime. We're going to put some stuff together and absolutely further help. But let's get these taken care of.
That's right. So stay tuned for that. And if you're wanting to make a donation, a monetary donation for Corporal Kelly and his family, it can be made through Behind the Line. That is the police union's nonprofit.
Right.
And I'm going to put a picture on Facebook with QR codes on it. PayPal, I think there's Cash App on there, or Venmo, one of them. And you can use that QR code to donate monetarily, and that is the nonprofit for the police union.
Right.
So sending it there, you're safe.
Yeah.
Also on Saturday, May 20th in Denham Springs in the Surf Pro parking lot, which is the old Albertsons, they are doing plate lunches. They have jambalaya, pasta, barbecue chicken, corn, and beans. Yeah. And they have a Jeep motorcycle and car show.
Right. That's this Saturday, y'all.
That's this Saturday, and all of the proceeds for that are going to go to help with the medical expenses he's incurring. And CALEF, CALEF, the Capital Area Law Enforcement Foundation, for those of you that are familiar with the former Chief of Police, Pat Inglade.
Right.
He'll be there at that event, and they're going to be doing a bunch of things. It looks like they're going to have a car show. And all those proceeds will go to Corporal Kelly. That is on 5/5. Boom. That is this Saturday, May 20th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Right.
And we're going to post all this on the Facebook as well. And the last thing I have on that, of course, Denham Springs staple, Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill.
Right. Big Mike. We all love Big Mike.
One of the most giving people you'll ever meet in your life. He actually had the Honky Tonk Playboys last night come in, and for 3 hours they played. And the Honky Tonk Playboys are great. And they had a blood drive set up and everything. And all of those proceeds went to the family of this.
Shout out to Big Mike's. I used to go to Big Mike's when there was a little bit hole in the wall in 1990 down off of Florida Boulevard.
Yeah. That was his first bar.
Lil Mike's? 30.
Was it Lil Mike's?
Big Mike's. No, it was Big Mike's.
Big Mike's little place.
But he's actually been on what's the
Bar Rescue?
Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
Also after the flood, they came in and did it. He's a good people, but let me tell you,
highest rated episode ever on Bar Rescue.
Really? I didn't know.
Interesting little side.
Our thoughts and prayers to Corporal Kelly and everybody who knew and loved him or loves him, and we were just praying, and we are going to absolutely put our money where our mouth is. Let these get out of the way and let this things progress. But y'all keep praying for him. Kelly and his partner were in here just a couple of weeks ago.
Yes,
and so they've been in the studio, and it just means a lot. It's horrible thing, and you know, people put on that badge and a gun out every day and go out there to help other people, and shit like this happens, unfortunately.
That's right.
We're going to back you, brother.
So look for that. All right, until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For your host of Real Life Real Crime Daily, peace.
Shabusiness.